So we made it onto Rum. Just got off the ferry and went to check the general stores. I've been here before actually. It's Matt's first time. I was here 7 years ago with Neil and Mike and Danny. So we're heading for the Bay of Harris now. That's where we're going to camp tonight. And then the second night we're going to down to a beach that I haven't been to before. Well, we certainly lucked out with the weather, because last night and this morning it was a bit damp and we had a bit of rain, but it seems to be much better on Rum than on the mainland. So let's hope it stays this way. So it's a really pleasant breeze today actually. We're hoping that that keeps up and will keep the midges away. Should be blowing straight into the Bay of Harris, so that could be good for us. Can't believe how lucky we are with the weather today. So glad we got that rain out of the way on the way over and not now. It does look like it's brightened up quite a bit, so that's great news. So we've just cycled about 5 miles over the island, and I think we're about to crest the top of the pass and then descend down into the Bay of Harris. It's a pretty spectacular place. Perfect riding conditions today, nice and breezy and a bit of sun, very refreshing. I'm pretty sure we descend from here all the way down to the bay, so that's good. It's the Rum Cooling on the left hand side, looking magnificent. It's just such a bizarre building to be here. So we kind of just need to decide where we want to camp really. Up on the cliffs or down on the beach. So this is the mausoleum. There's an old ruined house behind it which I think is used occasionally for people to come and drink at. Some wild horses in the background there watching us. It's the Rum Cooling. A beautiful little bit of coast. So we're just looking for a camp spot at the moment. I think we're just going to camp up here on this green. Well, I think this is it. This looks like a good spot. So this was our campsite last night. I didn't film last night actually because we got here and set up camp, went for a little wander, then decided to go and walk up that mountain, Ruin de Saval, and there's no paths up there really, so I think it's a seldom visited mountain. So it took us a few hours, but we got up to the top. It was baking hot, and then by the time we got back down it was pretty late, and had some dinner and made a driftwood fire on the beach, which was good. So we're both pretty knackered last night actually. So I think the plan today, we haven't got to catch a ferry, we're just going to ride over to the other coast. There's a bay and some lovely beaches there. I haven't been there before. So I think the plan is to leisurely pack up and ride up the big hill out of here and then down to the other beach. You probably can't see it with the GoPro because it's so wide angle, but there's 4 or 5 canoeists just leaving the bay. They were camped right on the other side. We did say hello as we walked past yesterday, so they're just heading out. Interestingly, there's all of these huge pebbles. I think the raised pebble beach is something to do with the interglacial period. It's very odd. From the top of the mountain we climbed you could see a bit better, and it's clearly a raised beach. Anyway, gonna get packed up and head up to the other beach. So we're leaving the Bay of Harris. Had a great stay here. great to be back, and hasn't really changed much actually. We did notice a little bit more development at Kinloch where you come in on the ferry, but Bay of Harris is just as it always was, and highly recommend anyone coming here to have a look and stay the night. It's a beautiful, peaceful place. Anyway, now we've got this bloody great hill to get up. Oh, we're nearly at the top of the hill, I think. It's pretty steep at the bottom, just pretty gradual up here. At least once we get to the top of this, it's mostly downhill to the beach, obviously, which is good. I think we're going to nip into Kinloch for a beer later. The village shop's open 5 till 7 tonight, so I might go and get a cold beer later. Let's get to the top of the hill first. So nearly there, just that one little ramp to go. We're at the top. Man, that was a really hot, sweaty ride. There wasn't much wind on most of that. Hopefully the breeze picks up at the top. It was pretty warm. Anyway, nearly there. This one's for Darren. The sky, the coolings are looking fantastic this morning. But I am referring to the black and the red together, as in the plural.
And the rum.
And the rum cooling. That's for you, Mr. Macaulay. Oh, descent, so nice. The only thing is, you sometimes forget you've got a really heavily loaded bike until you want to try and stop quickly going into a corner, then it's tricky. I haven't got a flappy bag now. I realised my new setup, the back bag was flopping onto the rear wheel. So I managed to put a bit of wood in and fix that. There's the beach, sort of going to be turning off left in a minute to head down there. So this is the track down to the beach. Wondering what this sign was from back there. Oh, it's an information board about the Kilmory Bay. So that sky you can see in the far distance across the water. This bay is a bit more north facing than the bay we were in yesterday, which faced west, so might see the sunset tonight from here. Nice wooded area. Oh, nice. Obviously managing to keep the deer out of there. Feels like a Roman road. So straight. Couple of old buildings down here. I guess this one, I mean, it's pretty basic, but there's obviously someone in there. Lots of deer around here. I'm just trying to find a way across to the beach. Didn't see any turn-offs, did you?
No.
We've found something of a path. Hopefully this is enough. It's a lovely beach. We're going to try and camp on the sand in case it's a bit midgy or flyy down here. There's quite a lot of marshland further up. What a spot! So a quick little film of our camp spot for the evening. Like I say, we rode over from the Bay of Harris, and this is Kilmory Bay, which is stunning actually. We've been for a little walk and explore around the corner over there, and there's some very interesting rocks. That's the Coolin Ridge behind. That's Matt pondering the view. And yeah, we're camping on the beach again, on the sand.
It's a dreadful spot.
It is awful.
We'll have to drown our sorrows,
yeah,
with whiskey.
We kind of think that we could probably do better than this, but well, it'll do for tonight, I guess. Yeah, it's mind-blowingly beautiful actually, and
the deer prints on the beach and the wildcat prints on the beach. Would your viewers have heard that?
I'll come back to you now. So we have some animal news.
Arctic tern attacking Dave.
Yeah.
And tracks of all the deer on the beach, and some tracks of wildcat on the beach as well, which I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like a pussycat, like a tabby, but
Maybe it's an ocean cat.
yeah, it could be. I mean, it had the right claws.
An octopusy.
I can't compete.
No.
Not with that.
That was the worst
You're
joke
right.
of the day. But anyway, yeah, we've seen quite a lot of wildlife here, and it's very cool to see. That's the tent set up.
The biggest, nastiest horsefly
Oh,
you've ever seen in your life.
I wonder what you're going to say then.
Careful. It was about that big.
Anyway, we're going to go and get a beer, I think, in the village shop. So be gone for a couple of hours, I guess, and then we're going to try and get the sunset later. So a bit more filming then. So we've had a pretty great day actually. Just explored along this bit of coast when we set up camp earlier. We rode back into Kinloch and had a couple of beers at the shop, and it's a stunning evening. There's the Coolin. Yeah, unfortunately there's a few midges around because the wind's just dropped right off. Probably gonna call it a day soon. Unfortunately there's rain forecast overnight, so might have to stay in the tents for a few hours in the morning, and we've got to get the ferry at 5, I think. So yeah, hopefully it's not as bad as they forecast. So we're just heading off from Kilmory Bay. The weather, we knew the weather was going to come in really windy and wet in the night, and we've been just waiting a few hours for it to calm down a bit, but got to go now. Got to go for the ferry, so it's going to be a wet, windy ride back. But it was great last night, and the sunset was amazing. Great place. But
we're paying the weather gods our deficit.
yeah,
At least it stopped raining.
we're now paying the debt. So onwards. Okay, so we're off. Got a really grim headwind all the way up this hill, so it's going to be a bit of a slog, I think. Well, it's from the sublime to the ridiculous after last night. This is really grim. Got like a gale force headwind, driving rain. Yeah, not quite the same calibre as last night. Anyway, we've got to get up it to get to Kinloch. Another mile uphill, I guess. Anyway, at least there's no midges. So we made it to the stores, had a can of Coke and a bit of a snack, and just waiting for the rain to stop now really, and the ferry to come. There's a minging old ride over, that was for sure. So we look at the Kinloch Castle, which is a bit of a sorry state really. Last time I was here there was one room open where you could go in and have a look at sort of some visitor information, I guess. but we've just spoken to the lady in the stores and it's completely shut down now. So yeah, shame, because I think this used to be where a lot of people stayed previously.
Maybe. Listed building consents applied for. Alteration to castle and erection of boiler house / service building. 2022 the application was made.
Oh, I mean, it would be, I imagine it'd be a very expensive fix. Not a bad view.
Yeah.
So we're just having a little mosey on down to the ferry. We've got a little bit of time, but weather's still pretty wet, so don't want to get absolutely soaked again. The grounds of the castle are pretty pleasant though. So that's it, we're back at the ferry pier. It's been a great couple of days, fantastic weather apart from this morning, but you get the ups and downs, don't you? So that's it from Rum. We've changed our plans a little bit because the weather is not very nice on Skye, so we're going to drive to the Cairngorms now for our week-long ride. So see you there.